Hello everyone, just buttoning my shirt here. I might have had that one before, button and unbutton. But I'm not here to talk about buttoning my shirt today. I am back here again to talk about articles again. Welcome back here to the channel everyone. My name's Scott. Now previously, I'm not sure exactly when it was uploaded, but I did a video. I made a primer on article usage, the basics. So I hope you watched that one. As far as using to introduce something and the to follow. So this would be for me, article usage part 2. Part 2 on article usage, but I'm going to keep everything short and simple. That's my plan. So I want to use, when you use and the to talk about problems with your health. These are the ideas today. So, before that though, I do want to talk about and the for other usages as well. Or not when to use or the. And sometimes a problem comes up where students may put an article in there when it comes to a meal. Now the word meal itself is fine, a meal. I have a big meal at 6 o'clock every day, for example. Okay, that's fine. But when you have the words breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you actually don't need any article in there at all. So you don't say I have a dinner at 7 p.m. every night. I have dinner at 7 p.m. every night. So you say that case with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but you do not use an article when you talk about them in most cases. Now, when do you use it? When you put an adjective in there as well. So notice the difference. So I had dinner at 7 p.m. I had a big dinner at 7 p.m. Now, in that case, I'll put the article in there because I have big. But generally, just remember, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you do not need to use an article. Or the. Now, sometimes you do when it comes to something outside breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like a snack. So after class, I like to have a snack. In that case, maybe some potato chips or an apple to keep it healthy. A banana and apple's healthier. So you say a snack. So I have a snack after class. Or a drink is possible. So after a long day, I like to have a drink to unwind, maybe relax. In that case, you use a drink, have a drink in the evening, or have a snack in the middle of the afternoon, okay? But just my point is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, do not need to use an article. A meal, you do. A meal, a snack, a drink, but breakfast, lunch, dinner. Try to remember that, everybody. You'll be fine. Now, next up I want to talk about is using the or the or an for problems with your health. Now, generally, most things are going to use and the big, I'm going to go with the big 4 aches. So, a headache, a toothache, a stomach ache, and a backache. The sentence that case, I have a backache, I have a toothache, I have a headache. Use an article before that. Also, for other things that are ailments that are not so welcome. A rash, I have a rash. I have a sore throat. I have a bruise. A bruise is if I got hit by the baseball on my arm and it leaves like a purple and black mark. That's a bruise. So a rash, a sore throat, a bruise. A cold. I have a cold. I'll get back to the cold and flu in a little bit, but I have a cold. I caught a cold. Don't catch a cold. Also, if you have a pain, so I have a pain in my elbow, but you can also say I have pain in my elbow. A pain being in the noun, a pain or a pain. I have pain in my elbow, I have a pain in my elbow. I have pain in my back, I have pain in my back. With or without is fine. Now going back to and the. So it's a cold, but influenza, generally we say flu for short, is a special one, so the flu. Notice the difference. He has a cold, he has the flu, okay? Some cases get the, but they're special cases. I'll give you a couple here. So the flu, or if you feel cold, you have the chills, and in some cases, if you eat and drink too much, you have the gout. There's a translation coming up here as well for that, but you may want to check your dictionary, the gout, G-O-U-T. So the chills, the flu, the gout. Now, when is an article not necessary? Well, for example, sunburn. I have sunburn. Sun was too strong. I forgot my sunblock. I have sunburn. Or a plural on muscles. I have sore muscles from lifting up the heavy textbooks. I have sore muscles. We use without articles there. It's a plural form as well. Also, blood pressure. I have high blood pressure. No article necessary for that. Hopefully you don't have high blood pressure because you may need to take medicine for that. Don't recommend it. So I have sunburn, or I have sore muscles. I have high blood pressure. No article on those. Many things do. Most things do. For troubles, health troubles, you need articles in the sometimes the. I don't go too deep into diseases in that case, but generally diseases don't need an article. So a very terrible disease, of course, is cancer. So he has cancer, no article is necessary there. I don't want to wish that on anybody, but for grammatically correct English, for diseases, generally don't need a or an or the. But some cases you do, like the gout, the flu, or I should say though, childhood diseases do get the article the. So the chicken pox or the measles, those cases for childhood diseases, you do get that is necessary. Just want to give you some ideas here, especially for meals and sicknesses. Two different ideas, but how are the articles used in these situations? That was my point today. I hope you found it informative and you enjoyed it and you liked it. And if you have any questions or comments, please ask me. I'd be very happy to see any questions or comments you have. Until then, everybody, thanks for watching. We'll be back here again soon. I'll have articles coming again in the future. I don't know when, but in the near future. Have a great day. We'll see you back here again soon.